Hello, and welcome to Martinis and Bikinis, the podcast for everything under the sun. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia, and I am here to help you navigate your 20s through all things lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. So, if you're ready, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, cheers.
Cheers to round two.
Cheers
to you not being sick of me.
Oh my gosh, never.
Wanting to see me twice in 1 week. I don't blame you.
So if you guys don't know, you have to go listen to the most recent episode because we just had Greer on, our last guest. And after the podcast ended, we were just sitting in the recording studio just talking about dating more in depth. And I feel like last week we kind of just got to know you and it was more foundational. It was just like, hey, meet Greer. Mm-hmm. And obviously we talked about some really fun things, but I feel like that is a great episode to go back and listen to if people want to get to know you, and then they can come back and listen to what this chaotic mess is going to be. But we were just talking about like random things like social media when it comes to dating and just some like real things that we experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not just like this one-sided view. I feel like a lot of people experience like these like little intricacies of dating. So that's kind of what we started talking about. And it just like, obviously we had our boxed wine. So the conversation was flowing. We like ended up sitting here.
It was flowing.
We were like, I had this like horrible habit of like anytime I have a drink, like I feel the need to like hit a vape. And I feel like that's balance, right? Like I don't do it regularly, but like if it's in front of me, I'm like
guilty.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
right, because it's conditioning,
right?
Which we did to ourselves,
which we were doing in the studio. Like we weren't unhinged, but like we were having a moment.
I looked at you because like I was craving my vape that was in my bag, and like we hadn't really established if you were like a nicotine girly. So I was like, I don't know what's appropriate. Is it illegal to smoke in here? There's cameras. Like, am I gonna set like the fire alarm? I don't know. And so I looked at you, and I just was like, you want a vape?
That's the thing. Like I do preach like wellness on here and like talk about, you know, how to fuel your body and things like that. But I feel like there's also an element of like having fun and enjoying yourself. And for me, sometimes that's what that is. And, you know, we were just like vibing, having fun, like talking about dating, like chit-chatting. And what was like one thing that we talked about that was like just so like universal?
I think it was the liking of the Instagram story and what that means.
Oh my God.
That's what we went on a tangent.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
No, but it's like, I wouldn't say it's frustrating. I would say it's so obvious.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like there's so many different compartments to it. So let's say you like have those loyal likers on your Instagram story that you really don't think twice about. But like I have people that have literally came out of the woodworks from high school that I used to think were like the coolest people ever, like had the biggest crushes on them. And then they're like liking my Instagram stories. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? I'm like, go
you
away.
Were season 1, babe.
Go
we're
away.
On season 15 now.
Yeah.
Like we're so past that. Like you were the crush in the pilot. Like you're not on this like new episode.
Right.
You're in the past. Like you've been booted. Like why are you back? Hello. No, but I get it. But I also get a kick out of it. It's almost like my younger version of me that's like still a part of me. There's like it checks off a box.
Oh yeah. It like fills that void. Like any sort of like unhealed trauma from that experience, like fuck yeah.
There's so much of it. There's so many boxes that need to be checked.
But I think what's interesting is I feel like everybody kind of falls into a different category. Like there's obviously like those loyal likers that you don't really think twice about, but maybe they like fulfill like some sort of like satisfaction.
Yeah, engagement.
Yeah, engagement. Thanks guys. Actually, I'm like really dogging on them, but I really appreciate them. And secondly, there's like the people that like you want to like your story. And like once they do, you're like, oh my God, like you like start thinking so much into it. So whether it's like a thirst trap or like just you living your life, you're like, what does that mean? You know, like what do I do with that?
Right. So like what's interesting though is the evolution of the thirst trap is that for so long we thought that it was just like showing less skin. But I feel like us women are starting to catch on that that's not what lures in our catch of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What lures them, I can't even say the word. Lures. These men in is actually posting domestic activity.
Oh.
So
Give us some examples.
oh, when you cook a meal, post that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you cleaned your house, you added something new, some new piece of decor to your home, post that shit.
You're the queen of that.
I'm telling you, like, when a man sees that you can cook, when a man sees, like, I don't know, any type of like stay-at-home wife activity, behavior, it just like, I don't know, triggers something in their masculinity.
Yeah.
They're like, I must make her my wife.
You're feeding into that like feminine energy like aspect of yourself. So
yes, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. you know?
Yeah. Even though like actually one time, this is really funny. So one time I like faked a meal that I cooked. I like bought a ready-made meal.
No. No.
And I posted it on my story and I had like so many DMs of these guys going, oh my God, I didn't know you cooked. I was like, me neither.
Oh my gosh.
It works. Like guys, I just know that yes, you'll get the like on like the really hot picture that you archived from a year ago. Now you can finally post it again because like it's a new set of eyes, right? And you'll get the like, but to really not just get the like, but take it to the DM, take it past the fire emoji, right? Post a meal you cooked.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow, that's a good little life hack for anybody that's just like trying to lure.
Lure. Is that the right?
Lure?
Lure.
I don't know.
It's kind of fancy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But my question is, what do you do once they like it? Like, if it's somebody you really want to talk to, like, I think it's kind of like lazy, you know? It's like,
yeah,
you're not gonna.
Oh, it's so lazy. They think they literally, it's what they do. They'll look at your story and they go, working up the courage, like, and they're like, oh my God, she so wants me now. You know, like, yeah, I've got her in the bag. She's
thinking about me now.
She's thinking about me now. Yeah, she's gonna see my name. She's gonna know. She's gonna know I want her. You know, like, but sometimes I think it's fun to still play the game back. Have you ever had someone like your stuff and then you go like their stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little game.
Yeah, and you're like, who's gonna break first? Who's gonna break, like, make contact?
Yeah.
Past the liking. I love doing that. Like, I'll mess with them so hard. Like, I'll go like to the very bottom of their profile and like their first photo.
Wait, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I feel like I always say that, you know, I think it's great to have like a little healthy dose of playing games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it keeps things exciting, and people that are like, oh, I hate games, those are usually the people that like anytime somebody's like remotely interested in them, they're like, oh, fuck that person, you know?
Well, exactly. Yeah, because like I feel like a lot of us women are 0 to 100. Like, when we want someone, we want someone. We don't want someone, we don't want them. Like, but then it's like the guys that we do want aren't the ones that are putting that effort.
Oh yeah,
right?
Because I think we are also fueled by rejection. We're like, okay, if this person's gonna reject me, like, I need to make this person like me, or like
I have to earn.
Yeah,
I have to earn their affection, because if you like me in the beginning, like, you don't know me,
right?
Why do you like me like that?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah,
why are you saying I'm amazing? I am, but you don't know that yet. And I feel like because a lot of our past relationships, I'm sure at this point, like now we're in we're in our mid-20s. We've had that relationship where we felt like we had to earn that affection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like how we translate love and how we translate a successful relationship, because that's all we've ever known.
Right.
Is that type of, you know, that relationship where you have to work towards getting that type of attention.
Yeah.
And that's why we kind of develop this avoidant reaction to guys who are actually very emotionally mature and secure attachments.
Yeah. I'm like very competitive. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's almost like a prize if I have like my eyes set on something and I'm able to like, someone, you know, and I'm and I'm able to like, I guess, convince them like, oh my gosh, like, she's the one for me.
Yeah, it's like I changed him. Like
yeah.
he found out something about me and he just looked at me differently.
Yeah.
It's rewarding.
Yeah, it's like horribly, but validation and like also like the sense of accomplishment, which is so strange. But because I feel like it's kind of supposed to be on like the reverse end based on like, I guess like just societal roles like throughout history.
Yeah.
Like it's always like the man like trying to like, you know, win the woman. And I feel like for me, every like long relationship that I've had, it has been like a friendship of some sort before where I've convinced them to like fall in love with me.
Oh,
and
you played you were in for the long haul.
Oh yeah.
With them. Did they know that you were planning, or is it like, you know, the Taylor Swift thing where it's like you've been planting these seeds and you made it happen yourself over like
No, I think I'm just like, I set my eyes out on something and I'm like, I have to have it. Like
and you get what you want.
I will not rest until I have it.
That's, you know, it's so interesting that you point that out, especially with like societal norms as well, because by you chasing, but like I chased a lot of us women chase now because a lot of guys are, it's okay for a guy to be in their feminine, but it's okay when like, you know, maybe they're in their feminine emotionally. Right. But when it comes to men being in their feminine where women have to tap into this masculinity where they're chasing, that's when we don't win.
Yeah.
Because there's an imbalance.
Yeah. It's weird because I feel like in the past, like when I've done that chasing, like then I like settle into that feminine energy. But now I'm at this point in my life, like you said, like mid-20s where I don't chase, I attract.
Yes.
And I feel like that spin or like, I guess that transition is like a part of maturing whenever it comes to like your relationships and making sure that like, you know, your worth. And I think sometimes people don't do that work and realize that they are like something worth fighting for as opposed to like feeling like they have to like fight for somebody else because like you said, like that means it probably won't work.
I think we get kind of caught up. It's very easy for us to, as women today, to chase because we turn down so many guys. We really do. Like a lot of women are courted so much, but the ones that we actually like, in our minds, this is a big deal because we're like, I'm choosing you. Do you know how many men have come up to me and like, I want nothing to do with them, but I'm choosing you. Why aren't you choosing me back? So it's frustrating. And at the end of the day, the self-work is what helps you get out of that mindset.
Yeah.
Where you think to yourself, okay, well, yes, I do choose this person, but if they don't choose me, I'm going to choose myself.
Right.
And be able to walk away and know like, all right, like no big deal. Like, I think I'm the shit. If you don't feel the same way, like no hard feelings. Like I'm going to keep doing my thing and be able to transfer my energy towards someone that, you know, is able to reciprocate.
Exactly. I feel like, you know, on to the next.
Yeah. Thank you. Next.
Like think about like those people like we were talking about earlier about those people in high school that are like the loyal likers now that like you once thought were like God sent. And
oh my God. Yeah.
Now you're like, oh.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
And now they're chasing after you. And I feel like it's so funny to like think back on those people and yeah, they're probably great. But like at this point in your life, you're just like not interested.
No.
And the person that you're probably so fixated on that like, maybe if you're listening, like somebody that is like struggling with like a crush that is like, you know, maybe you're getting rejected and you're going to look back like a year from now and be like, why was I so...
And rather drink bleach than go on a date with them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, I feel like it's all so like well-fitting as like time goes on.
For sure. Because like we're continuously evolving. We're continuously growing. As single women too, we elevate so quickly at a very rapid pace. So like the guy that we were obsessing over months ago is like such old news because we've already entered a way new advanced wavelength of life. And they're just so, you know, in the past. And I don't know. I just like, I remember specifically there was this guy. It was first grade. This guy.
Okay.
We're
really going way back.
We're going way back. All right. I've had crushes.
Is he liking your Instagram stories now? He's really playing the long haul.
He was. But I just remember there was this guy that I was obsessed with, and like I was obsessed with him like the rest of elementary, like till graduation, everything. Okay. And you know, I forgot about him, and I, you know, ran into him like literally like 2 years ago. This is not recent. This is just like still in the past, but it's a great example. Like I ran into him like 2 years ago, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I would never touch him. You know, like I would never let him touch me. Right. And it just makes you think like, wow, like, you know, these crushes that you feel, they feel so intense. They feel so real. Whether you're 7 years old, 15 years old, 20 years old, like the way you feel is how you feel relatively to that time that you've lived.
Right.
And so, you know, I think a good thing to, you know, just remind yourself is this is just now. It doesn't mean it has to be later.
Yeah. The feeling is temporary.
Yeah.
And I also think that as women, we're big overthinkers. So we don't have a streamlined way of thinking. Like it's literally like overthinking every single compartment of like the relationship or, you know, the situation, whatever's happening. Mm-hmm. And I feel like guys like have way more of just like a direct approach. Like they just like think like, oh, that's how it is. And, you know, here we are.
Oh, yeah. They go, I don't see it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
So maybe that's how they think about liking Instagram stories. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm just going to like that.
Nope.
I enjoy that.
Nope. That's, I promise you.
Okay. We need a guy's
It's their
opinion.
Strategy. Wait. Let's get your engineer in here. We need another.
We were actually talking to Remy about this after the episode. Remy, you have to come on. I actually have a martini for you. This was like so not planned. Oh my gosh, welcome to Martinis and Bikinis, Remy.
I don't know.
You're in the hot seat.
The hot seat?
Yeah. Is it burning your butt?
Love that that's the first joke.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wait, so where were we?
So.
Hot seat?
Yeah.
Spicy?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Simmering. But basically, we're talking about liking Instagram stories.
Yeah.
What, like, if you were to like somebody's Instagram story?
Yeah, I know we were getting into this a little bit at the end of last week. And I think for me, obviously I can't speak for most guys, but it's like me and I'm sure many guys like intentionally avoid liking a lot of women's posts that are going to be of a certain nature.
Okay.
Like thirst traps. Like I actively avoid engaging with posts that are like mostly highlighting a woman's body only because I think part of this stems from the fact that so many of my friends are female.
Yeah.
And I genuinely value them as people. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a line that when you cross it, it is very clear that
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're not just liking it and saying, oh, she looks very lovely today.
Yeah.
But you do feel like, so like the nature, I feel like that's the most important aspect of, you know, I guess the context behind the situation. So, you know, if somebody's posting a thirst trap, like maybe the people that are liking that aren't necessarily like the people that you want to be spending your time with.
Right. You want the guy who likes your cooked meal that you posted on your story.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it.
It's a way.
But is it like friendly if they're liking it too? It's like so much to dissect.
Have you ever heard of like the perspective that guys generally know like if they would want to date a girl from like the second that they meet them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to see
box
that
theory.
a lot. Yeah.
I think who talked about the box theory? Was that who talked about that?
Oh, Tinks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And it's so true. Because the guy that I'm seeing now, I even asked him. Straight up, I was like, so is the box theory real? And he goes, what do you mean? And then I explained it to him. He goes, oh, definitely.
Yeah. So
yeah, at least
have you heard of box theory?
Every single time that I've met a girl that I was interested in, I knew that I was interested in them and that it defined
the
that
rest.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you put them in a box. Is this someone that I want to date? Is this like wife material? Is this like a hookup? Or is this someone that like annoys me?
Yeah. And it's like
fuck that bitch. Yeah, don't want to ever see her again.
Yeah. Specifically for me, it's been a lot of it just defines how I approach all of the conversations that we're gonna have from then on. It's not necessarily like that is the only thing that I'm going to be okay with, like in type of relationship. But it's like if I want them to be a friend, yeah, cool, they're my friend. But if I want to date them, I'm going to come at most of our interactions with a certain air of like, hey, would love to get drinks, or like we should hang out.
You're not just gonna be lazy and like their story. Like you're gonna reach out to them.
Yeah, at least me. I'm sure some guys have certain different levels of insecurity that they would have a level of fear of engaging at a certain risk level, but
no, I mean, I don't think so, because it's, you know, they say if he wanted to, he would. And I feel like you like asking out people and just like being intentional about it is like way better than like somebody just like, oh.
Isn't it crazy how the if he wanted to, he would is so different for every single person?
Mm-hmm.
Every single person, it's different. Like what you value, what you measure as like, you know, feeling like someone's appreciating you or valuing you. Right. And like who this person is and like what's their love language? How did they express themselves and let you know that they're obsessed with you and worshiping you? Is it through acts of service? Is it through words of affirmation? Is it gift giving? Like everyone's different. So it's like when we're on TikTok, we go in this rabbit hole of people talking about, oh, if he wanted to, he would. And like, it's like this extravagant thing that will probably never happen to you with the guy you're currently seeing. And then you go in this like dark place and you think to yourself, like, am I settling? Have I not reached a certain pinnacle that I could be reaching in my like romantic partnerships? But really, it's like if he wanted to, he would. It really depends on who is the man and who are you.
Right. I feel like, it depends on somebody's love language. So like if you really enjoy quality time, like like Remy, he's going to be like, hey, like, let's go get drinks or let's hang out, you know? And like the person on that like receiving end is probably going to be like, hell yeah, like that's amazing. But I feel like, you know, if somebody is like really into like gift giving, like if they're not like getting them on a yacht within like the first month of dating.
Like,
oh, sorry.
Also, like I think it also sometimes boils down to what they feel like they're good at. Like if they don't feel like they're good at gifts, they will shy away from getting gifts. At least me personally, like I have not historically been the gift person. I've historically been the quality time, let me actually show you that I have ears person.
Yeah.
And that tends to be how I like to show up in relationships.
Yeah.
Granted, I think as you get older, you realize you haven't always shown up in relationships the way you've wanted to show up.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, you learn as you...
Or like, it's like the way that you show up. Like, I think the way that you show up is also like how you could be receiving as well.
Yeah. That is very true. Because it's like, I remember one of those like the smallest, dumbest little things that like actually meant a lot was, okay, so I used to DJ a lot on campus in college. Used to do all of like some campus
You're
gigs.
a jack of many trades, Remy.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Remy hosted a show. He was a DJ. He's like producing and doing the sound engineering behind this podcast.
Yep.
Slaying.
But so I was DJing orientation, and the girl I was interested in at that time, she, right as we were setting up, she like came and like handed me a piece of paper.
Okay.
And the running joke that we had before that, like, oh, moral support. Like we were always like giving moral support before we were doing big things, because we had met like while we were doing things, leaders on campus and, you know, leading different conversations and yada, yada, yada. And she handed me this piece of paper, and then she like walked away. And then like I opened it right before I went to start the gig, and it was like literally moral support with like drawings and hearts on it.
Oh, that's
I was like,
so cute.
That's so cute.
but I literally had never been given something like that.
So you never realized that was something that would make you feel that way?
Yeah. But and also it's like you also understand the context, like, oh, other people probably value this too.
Yeah.
And then you start, it kind of, you use it, you don't just have to pull it out of thin air. Like you don't just have to be creative when you kind of see it out in the wild.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that is like, to this day, it is the smallest thing that has like meant a lot.
You also think to yourself, you're like, okay, this made me feel so good, and the next person I date, I want to make them feel so good. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna mimic this try to mimic the same
like
feeling.
obviously it's gonna be different for every person. Like you're
Right.
gonna have different inside jokes, or you're gonna have different tastes, or they're gonna like different drinks or whatever. But it's like the intention of trying to find things that make them feel that way.
Yeah.
I think as you learn that there are different things that you can do that through, whether that's gifts or time or even something as small as like making a little card.
I think it's all about thoughtfulness.
Yeah, the thoughtfulness. But it's like
which
Yeah.
can
You
be
don't
like in
always
so many
have-
different
I don't-
calibers.
I generally do not think that everybody learns thoughtfulness, or like that like
Right.
thoughtfulness is like to that level is something that everybody experiences at any point in time.
hmm
So then they kind of
Yeah.
they have their default level, and then as some people like learn and they grow and
Yeah.
I
You
think
really
that everyone's
sorry.
capable of reaching that level of thoughtfulness, but sometimes people see it as kind of, I feel like people see it as kind of a weakness, where they think to themselves, okay, I want to do this for someone else.
because it's also vulnerable.
It's vulnerability.
It's
yeah.
like and it's something that you run into with creatives in general. It's just like the part of the making the thing where you go, here you go, I made this for you,
yeah.
and you just give it to them,
Yeah.
and
Aw.
you just cross your fingers and you're
Yeah.
like, I hope it has the impact that I thought it was going to have, or that I wanted it to have.
Yeah.
But
Right.
like you don't know, and I think for a lot of people that's scary. It's like the same reason why people aren't making TikToks even though they think about them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, I understand that, because I remember one time I was like always like a very like, the gifts that I did were like crafted things, and put like a lot of time into it. Like I'm like my high school sweetheart, I drew a card and wrote a note for every month that we dated, and I was like put my heart and soul into it. And then like I remember and I remember this one time I made a jar of quote unquote sweets, but the sweets were actually just affirmation, and like they were just like notes of like sweet things that I want to say to this person. I'm like, if you need a dopamine hit, just open up the jar of sweets.
I've done that.
Yeah. And this person, you know, it was so bad because there was an inside joke in it, and they took it out, and they didn't get it. And it sucked.
Oh.
In that moment, I was
Wow.
like, ooh.
Stab right in the heart.
I was like,
Uh,
that was not fun.
That's part of it.
I know, you put yourself on
yeah,
the line.
It's the
Yeah.
vulnerability, and the vulnerability is the part that makes it meaningful.
yeah, I think self-awareness and social awareness are huge. So like
Yeah.
knowing yourself, but also like having the capacity to get to know somebody. And then, you know, as time goes on, you actually get to know what this person likes and like what they would actually appreciate. Then there's the vulnerability and the intentionality. So I feel like it's definitely just about like getting to know somebody and like in a different light, like not just like the surface level things, like actually getting to know this person to a T. So like, you know what would make them happy, or like, you know what would make their day.
Yeah,
or,
it's like the difference between like, you know, their birthday and you know what you could give them next Saturday that'll make them smile.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it's a difference between.
What are you gonna give them, Remy?
But it's like that is a difference. It's the difference between like knowing facts and then having that emotional intelligence layer, which is like it requires emotional intelligence.
Right. Exactly. I think emotional intelligence is like the most important aspect of like any relationship, but also like the relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, you know, whenever you're like perfectly content with like who you are, then you can show up for other people and you can assert that vulnerability and that giving. And, you know, I think it's all giving at the end of the day. It's, you know, acts of service or quality time or, you know,
and it's like
gifting.
and you made a great point. You're like, if you don't know yourself, how can someone else know you and understand what you need and be able to tend to your needs if you don't even know how to tend to your own needs?
Right.
And ask for it.
Yeah. What are y'all's opinions on dating apps?
Oh my God.
I have none on my phones.
Well, last segment, I told you about how I used Hinge.
Mm-hmm.
My first year living here, the meal plan.
Oh, the meal plan. Yeah.
I did tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think they work for some people, but like you just don't know someone's mannerism. You don't know how they laugh. You don't know how they look at you. Just those small nuances that I feel like really can create strong chemistry,
Mhm.
you're so unaware. You're just not sure.
I feel like this is just a personal opinion. I think there's a lot of disposable daters on those dating apps. So like people that will go like, not you, but you know, people that will intentionally like just go on these dates with like out any sort of like intention of like ever seeing this person again and like just like keep going and like funneling through people. Cause I think we have so much accessibility. And I think that's kind of why dating is so tough now, especially.
It's like that paradox of choice. It's like you have more choices, then you're less likely to actually choose one.
Right.
100%. Yeah, you have too many options.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like someone's making an impression of you based off of your photos. It's not based off of you. They're not asking.
Well, it's marketing at that point.
You're marketing.
Literally, like, how well can you market this person and their personal brand on this dating app?
Right. And they already have this like preconceived notion of you, right? You go into it. Obviously, like, you're probably better than how you are on your profile. But, like, you're never going to be the person that they thought that you were going to be when they agreed to go on a date with you.
Yeah.
You're always, like, you're kind of taking a gamble. And something that I've realized with Hinge, with, like, Raya, with all those dating apps is most of the guys, most of them that are on the apps aren't really there for a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are like, all right, you know, like, let me take her for drinks. Let me take her to dinner. And, you know, I don't have to try that hard to hook up with someone because it's all set up. It's all mapped out for me. Granted, there are guys who do want to go on the app and meet someone, or they might meet someone and be surprised, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, at the same time, to your point, I think at like the dating apps in general, even the guys who are interested in the relationship get so burnt out so fast on those apps. They're like, why am I going through all of this just to meet people? And then they're just like disengaged.
So I think there's two types of people as far as like straight guys go. But I think there's the ones that desperately want a relationship and they don't care who it's going to be. They're just going to like meet someone and like hope that they want the same thing. And then there's the people that, you know, are disposably dating and like probably trying to like get some sort of hookup out of it. And obviously there's those like rare people in the middle, but like I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum whenever like
I feel like the people in the middle just they lose their incentive to actually be on the dating app because they're like, well, the way I want to engage isn't necessarily how this dating app is incentivizing people to engage. And then also if I have the patience, like I don't feel like I need to be in a relationship right now. I have the patience to not be on a dating app.
Yeah.
Right.
So then they're going to.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And something that I experienced. So I didn't go on any dating app for like I quit going on them from April till now. Actually, like just everyone I went on a date with was very organic. It's like when I went out and if I vibed with someone, I would go on a date with them. They asked me if I felt like there was something there. So I completely removed myself from the app, and like the quality of guys that I met, it went up exponentially. And that's how I also met the person that I'm seeing now. So but that's my personal experience. I know people handle things differently and have a different have different circumstances. But something that a pattern that I was continuously falling into was when I was on the dating apps and I would go on a date with someone, they immediately would choose a location that was closer to their apartment.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The conveniency.
The conveniency, like it's convenient. And then I would go on the date. We'd have a good time. I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is great. Blah, blah, blah. And then they would say, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like I actually live down the street.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Totally didn't plan that.
What's crazy? I actually have a brand new bottle of wine. Would you like to come over?
Oh my gosh,
you know?
that
like,
line.
I mean, come on. Like, yeah, I will come over. But like,
yeah, be right there.
Be right there. But like,
show me the way.
I just think it's so funny. Like I remember specifically there was this one guy who I'm friends with now today because it just was so funny. He took me to this place called Emporio, and that's where he takes like all of his dates. I know that now. And
he's probably like in Emporio, like looking over his shoulder like the whole time. Like, just making sure that like a past date doesn't
show up. Like, oh my God, thanks for showing me this place. I go here all the time
there's
now.
a Michael Che skit about that. Which is, like, hilarious.
No, literally this guy, like
I love Michael Che. I just saw him live with Colin Jost.
Oh, really?
Really?
So funny.
So good.
But this guy I didn't meet on a dating app. This guy actually met organically, which kind of beats the point. But I guess like, it's kind of falling into the category of these guys date for this convenience. And I should have known. I walked in and the servers knew him. They knew his order. The manager comes to the table and he's like, oh my God, so-and-so, thank you so much for, coming in today. Who's the lucky lady? And I'm like, obviously not me. I can't see her. She's not here. And so we order the food. It's like whatever. And like I get there like because I was working really late that day. So the place was closing. And he goes, yeah, I live just so close by. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And so we legitimately we walk out of the restaurant and he goes, let me give you a tour of around here. I said, oh, cool. He goes, this is a park right here. This is a coffee shop I go to. And we legitimately, I'm not even kidding you, walked like 3 steps and he goes, and this is my apartment. And I busted out laughing. I just started like fucking laughing so hard. And I looked at him, I said, you're a meme.
Yeah.
You're a meme. That's hilarious. But you got wine up there?
Oh my gosh. Like he's the tour guide of like maybe like not even 1 mile, like a 0.1 mile radius.
No, literally, no, not even. It was 25 feet, dude. It was like literally. And every time I walk past Emporio now, like that's all I can think about. It's just so funny to me. And like he's actually such a sweetheart. He's just like, he was definitely like, he had a bit.
Yeah.
He had a bit.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wonder if he gets tired of it.
I don't think he does, but I think he moves. We had to find a new spot. Poor thing. I had to try.
Well, he at least he definitely tried once. Like he did the once, and he was like, "This is great," but
it had to have worked.
Like this is the thing. Like I feel like that's a logical thing in the brain. Like you go, "Oh, this is a great restaurant. It's super close, and like people actually like going here. So why would I not just go to this one every time for the first date?"
Right.
But that's logical.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just logical.
It's logical. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So that actually happened to me on my first Hinge date ever. I want to say I was 20 and I was interning in DC. And I just remember being like, I'm going to get on Hinge. I just gone through like this terrible breakup. I'd never been on the dating apps before. Like it wasn't really a thing at my college. Like I feel like they had just started coming to surface. So it was like kind of weird to be on them in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember getting on it in DC and I ended up meeting this guy. He now lives here and like has tried to match with me on dating apps. And I'm like, no. No. And I'm one of those people where now I'm just like a swiper. Like I don't even like go out on the dates. Like it's just, I'm one of those middle people where I just swipe. I have no intention.
Are you a hot or not? Is that how you play with the apps?
You know, sometimes I like to like look and see what their interests are and, you know, just see if we have anything to talk about. I don't know. I've made friends with a lot of people I met on dating apps, which is so weird, but probably something I need to dissect. But like a lot of guy friends I met through like going out on a first date with them, not vibing and being like, let's be friends.
I am a strong believer. And if it's not there romantically, like that's a new friend.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you guys jived and like conversation was flowing, but there just wasn't just like that, you know, next level chemistry.
Yeah.
Be friends.
I think it's like great because I don't want to say like guy and girl friendships can be hard, but like if there's just no spark, like you might as well just like make a friend out of it. But anyway, I went on this date with this guy and, you know, he was older and I thought I was just like with the coolest person ever. He like brought me to this restaurant where like the manager came up and like gave us like this bottle of whiskey from Japan and like, you know, the whole fucking act.
Right.
Your guy.
You're like, wow, I'm so special.
And then guess where his apartment was? A block away. So they people have this bit. A lot of people have this bit.
They do.
But, you know, you're not alone in that. It's definitely happened to, I'm sure, a lot of people.
I mean, I've even done it.
Okay, tell us about that.
That must be a good story.
I have a good story.
Tables have turned.
Oh, yeah. I like turning the tables. So this is like when I was heavily in my masculine energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I was definitely in the lead for a couple dates at one phase in my life. And I was living in Chelsea and there was this place called Lulu. And the place that has the bird drinks. I don't know You ever saw that? They're terrible. They taste really bad, but like they're just aesthetically really pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I became friends with the manager because no one, this was in 2021, kind of 2020, like when no one was really in the city. And so like whoever was there, and it was very easy, a lot easier to stand out. And so I made friends with this manager at Lulu. And so when guys would ask me on a date and they'd ask me where I want to go, I would just say, Lulu, let's go to Lulu. And so we would go to Lulu and they treated me like I was a queen. Okay. Like they brought us shots. They had dessert on the house. And then the manager would come to our table and go, oh, she's a great girl. Like I was like, who? He goes, who's the lucky guy? See? See? And
that must be the go-to manager line.
that was the goat. It is. I think that they have
Who's the lucky guy?
They have weekly meetings.
They know that they're gonna get like tipped out the ass if they just like treat you guys like amazingly.
100%. I felt
So
like,
smart.
I felt like I owned the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like they treated me like I was a partner.
Yeah, you were.
And it was fantastic. And I remember
You were bringing them a lot of money, I'm sure.
I was, yeah. I was going a lot.
Technically,
of dates.
you probably were
I
some sort of
did.
investable partner.
I was the revenue of 2020. But there was this one guy. Well, this is a story. Okay. So this is a guy that I met New Year's in 2019 before I moved to New York. This was actually kind of hot. So he was like across the bar. And I thought to myself, that guy is so cute. And then I like look up and he actually made his way to me. And I was like, no way. So he's interested in me, starts talking to me. And then I told him where I went to college. And he goes, oh, were you on the football team? And I was like, oh, yeah, you want an autograph? I played. And so I like signed like a napkin and gave it to him, like my autograph. And then the ball dropped. And then we made out. And it was incredible. I felt like I was in a movie. I felt like I was in High School Musical, you guys. Like, this was phenomenal. Thank you. And he was my Troy. And
singing karaoke, next thing you know.
And
ending up at the same school.
I'm crazy. What? Like, no way. I'm not moving to New York for you. What? So we like stayed in touch, and then we lost touch because like COVID happened and everything. And then I finally like moved to New York, and he has a girlfriend. And I go, oh, fuck. Okay, fine. So then he doesn't tell me that he still has a girlfriend. And he shows up to Lulu with me. Like, he tries to reconnect with me. And he says that, like, they broke up. Or, like, that they're going to break up. And so at the time, I was at Lulu because I really didn't know anyone in the city. And I was, like, hoping, I was like, okay, if we can't, like, work out romantically, then I'll just be friends with this person.
So at least you have a foothold.
Right.
Of, like, someone you know.
Someone I know. I really, like, I was just, like, trying to pull any connection I had to, like, just make my way.
Yeah.
But of course I dressed to the nines. Okay, of course I did.
Gotta show them what they're missing.
It's like, you know, the way he made it seem like he was single at this time. I would have never, I'm such a girl's girl. Like, I would never, ever disrespect someone else's relationship, ever. Like, vice versa. Like, if I was in her position, like, that would, like, break my heart.
Yeah.
If someone did that to me. And so I thought he was single because the fact that he, like, wanted to meet up. We're at this dinner. I look so good. And then, like, he brings up a conversation that actually he's still dating this woman. And I'm like, oh, what?
Just says it like.
Because, like, everyone's like, he's like, and then he says to me, I can't stop thinking about you. I, like, miss you and all these things. And I'm telling you, it was the Lulu experience. If it wasn't for Lulu, he would have never said these things.
Oh.
So, but
written down.
Yeah, no, literally. But like, this guy was gross because he was like telling me that he's gonna like break up with this girl and like wants to like be with me and like all this stuff. It was so crazy, and we never spoke to each other since. Like, after that night,
good.
We're like in no contact.
Good.
Actually, no. He actually reached out to me when I was on the show, and he told me to not let the guy hurt me. I was like, you already did that.
Yeah.
I know. But Lulu, the power of Lulu is extremely powerful.
Well, I need to go there. I need to go and I need to meet the manager and I need to let them know that like I might be bringing multiple people. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, like, seriously, like set your reserve
It's like,
your
okay,
date.
for the next 4 Thursdays, I'm gonna need this table, this spot in the corner.
It's not a bad
Fuck it
idea.
up.
It's not a bad
Reserve your
idea.
dates. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whoever that girl is, I hope that she like realized like
Yeah.
that, you know, she deserves better
Yeah.
and that he's schmuck.
Yeah.
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 So this is kind of like an interesting topic. I was thinking about this recently because I had like matched with this guy that said, and this was accidental because I usually don't match with these people on Raya that says here for friends.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it like glitches and it doesn't show you that like on their profile. But then like when they start chatting to you, you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I just like started thinking about like, oh my gosh, if this guy has a girlfriend, like
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people where I would feel like the need to like tell that other person like,
Yeah.
hey girl, like your boyfriend is on Raya like messaging people. Like
Right.
I just because I feel like they will figure it out themselves.
You never want to be the girl that messages the girl going, "Hey, girly."
No, you also like don't know their situation. So like
No.
some people have open relationships and
People are poly.
yeah.
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 Or open.
Or like know about it and just like don't give a fuck.
Or don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to be oblivious to it.
Yeah. So I'm glad that we agree on that. But I was
Yeah.
thinking about that the other day.
I actually, there was, it sucks though when you're single, especially when you're single for a really long time, your ratio of unintentionally wrecking homes start to go up because men are not faithful and men lie and men act like they're single and that they're, you know, available. And you being a single woman and like not knowing that they have a girlfriend, not knowing their history, you get like dragged into situations where it's like, if you would have known, you would never.
Mhm.
And these men, they lie.
Yeah.
And then you find out later and you feel sick to your stomach.
That's so interesting how you mentioned it. It's like as you go on, it's just like the number of like you get caught into these situations.
Yes.
Like that is not would have
It-
never crossed my mind.
It
Obviously, that's
sucks.
not my experience, but
Yeah.
Do you find that women do that? Like, have you ever had an experience like that or like know anybody that's like kind of been on the other receiving end?
I don't think so. In terms of like they were in a relationship, they
yeah.
did some
Yeah.
nice like
Yeah.
weird cloud shit and then hit it.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen.
It's like the same as like the more you fly, the higher
Yeah.
your chances are that you're gonna crash
Yeah.
on a plane.
Yeah.
You know,
That-
your
that
odds
sounds
just keep,
accurate.
you know, your odds just keep, you know,
Yeah.
being more in
Yeah.
your favor. But yeah, no, like it sucks because like I was single for 5.5 years. And when you are single for that long and you are so open to meeting people and you are so sexually open and just like wanting to meet your person, but also like not looking for it, but also not closed off to it, you get thrown into a lot of situations where men aren't faithful.
Yeah.
And, you know, even with social media, guys don't always post their girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
They don't. So how the hell are you supposed to know? And then you find out later and it sucks.
Is that like not a green flag, but is that like I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a non-negotiable for you, like somebody, if you're exclusively dating them, to like be posting you on social media? Because I remember Alex Earl and like
Yeah.
Tyler Wade broke up because of that.
Yeah.
And do you know who that is?
I know who Alex Earl is only because obviously 3030, her the new agency that she has with what's her name? The caller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that and then someone and I'm fairly sure this is accurate, but her family's from New Jersey.
Mhm.
I saw someone saying that her father is the one that owns like Earl Construction in
Yes.
New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like they're doing construction on my road, so that has been
No way?
yeah, literally.
Aw.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Cute.
so I literally pass Earl trucks every day, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the same.
Yeah, that's Earl
Same
family.
Earl. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
yeah. So I do know who that is. Don't know the other person.
So basically, for people that don't know, she was dating this guy who was a baseball player and they dated for a while, but I don't think he was like super excited about her social media career.
Mm.
And also like just wasn't actively like posting that they were together on his Instagram while she was like posting him on like her TikTok and like whatever.
Mhm.
And she ended up breaking up with him because I'm sure there was other reasons too, but like
Yeah.
he just never posted her. So
Yeah, but that's part of that does fall into this, like, you have to understand the relationship that people have with social media, and
Right.
you have to have that value system like in common, or else that's going to be a point.
It's gonna clash.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the guy that I'm seeing right now, I haven't posted his face for so many reasons. Like, one, he's boyfriend, not boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only reason why I'm posting it is one, because I'm proud. I'm proud to be with him, one. And two, that was to signal to people that I'm taken.
Right.
That I'm off the market. Like, that's what that's about. Is that like, hey, if I haven't responded to your text in a month, here's why.
Right.
Hey, if I never like wanted to go on a second or third date with you, this is why.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ghost you to ghost you. I'm just someone snatched me quicker.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you're so respectful.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. It's a bat signal. It's like an I'm not single anymore signal. And
wait, so is that the bat signal that guys should be looking for? Is
Mhm.
that like the bat signal, the Instagram post on?
Well, that's how, like, for me, for a relationship with me, like,
Because
that's how
I
it
will
is.
say I have heard this from other women, that because I've had other girls go like, oh, well, does she like check her tags, check her feed? Like, is there anybody? Like, they fully go like full CIA.
We check. And so and we 100%. So if we're going through your shit, we're going through your social, and we can't find a single woman, we're like, oh, all right, he's in the clear, green light.
Right.
All right, let's move forward, take next steps. But like, when these guys don't post their girlfriends, or they'll have a dump, right? A big photo dump. And the girlfriend's the last photo of the carousel. Is it a friend?
Yeah.
So I think there's a small launch, there's a medium launch, and then there's a hard launch. I would say that maybe goes into like a small medium launch, but then there's the group photos where like they're standing together.
Then what if they're just social in general, and then they have pictures with like 3
But then the hard launch
women,
is like you and them together on like a solo trip or something.
Vacation.
Yeah.
No, if you are dating someone,
or like making out on the beach.
if you're dating someone, that person needs to be in a photo, just you two, and that needs to be fucking pinned on your profile. It needs to be pinned on his profile, and it needs to be pinned on your profile. Because, like, look, your socials are essentially, when you're single, it's a dating profile.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. Isn't it like more people are treating Instagram like a dating app than almost anything else?
100%. Like, majority of my dates stem from Instagram.
That's fascinating.
That's wild.
What is first DM that gets you to actually respond? Like, before boyfriend, not boyfriend.
Well, okay, so like, usually,
is
like,
it the guy that likes the cooking photo? Is that?
Sometimes yes. But like, it's also someone like I know in the real world.
Yeah.
Where they shoot their shot through Instagram.
It's not
through DM.
You don't feel a type of way if person knows you in real world and doesn't actually.
But they don't know me, where they don't have my number yet.
Okay.
You know what's kind of fucked up?
What?
So that happens to me, but whenever I don't want to go out with them, I'll just like the message and then not say anything else. Is that awful? I mean, I just like want them to know, like, hey, I appreciate it, but like,
this is what you say. You
I'm
go
like horrible with communication.
So I am very anti-ghosting, even though like with boyfriend, not boyfriend now, I did ghost like many. I cleared the bench, and like I just like didn't really give courtesy. But usually when I was single, now I have a legitimate excuse. Like my like, hey, my like not ghosting text is now my post that I have with him in London.
Oh.
Like that covers all my bases. Like I'm like, I'm good. Like, now I know what's up.
Right.
But before, whenever I was like really out there and I was like in the streets.
Feral
cat. And I would text people, and this probably sounds really harsh, but I would say, hey, I really enjoyed spending the time that I have with you. I don't think there's a strong connection here. I wish you the best on your journey.
No, that's fair.
I would keep it very short.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
And they were very respectful of
like,
it.
if I got that message, I'd be like, cool. Keep it pushing.
Great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Totally respectful. I respect you for sending that message.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. It's respectful, because then like you don't want someone overthinking and sitting there and thinking to themselves, like spiraling, where they're like, was it something I said? Was it something I did?
Yeah.
Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Like when you give someone like just that courtesy, it helps them stop overthinking, and it's respectful.
Yeah.
I need to Sorry, I need to like take like some of that into my own life because I am the worst. I just realized I'm the woad because I will just like messages and just leave it be.
Oh,
and
but if you've never gone on a date with them, if you haven't actually
no.
made contact,
read
and don't receive. Like don't respond.
Yeah.
Don't respond to
No, you read the
response.
notification at the top of your phone. You go, I'm just not going to open that Instagram.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a long message and you want to see what it says.
I'm so nosy. I look at like everything and I'm like, what are these people saying?
Yeah, like I want to know.
I know.
See, I will say I am the type of person that if a message is more than like 2 sentences and you don't get to the point in the first 2 sentences that I can see in the notification, I just won't read it.
Yeah.
I'm fully that person.
Yeah.
Like, get to the point.
That's so great.
2 things. It's that and when people say hi.
That's so nice because like I'm just so curious. My curiosity gets the best of me and I have to like read everything.
Yeah.
And see everything. But it's
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one less TV subscription that you have to pay for. You just get the drama in real life.
Right, like I'm the drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like DMs, they work. The guy that I'm seeing now, I DM'd him.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh my gosh. Slay.
Well, like that's an easy one. Like if you.
Yeah, I know.
For most women, if you give a guy any type of compliment at all, that's probably like one of 3 compliments that he's gotten in his entire life.
Whole life. They remember this.
Like I remember one time this girl complimented the color of my shirt 3 years ago. We'll never forget it.
And you'll always wear that color.
I will always wear that color. It was light blue. I know it. It's in my wardrobe.
When I tell you what I DM'd him, like that's how like little effort I had to put in to get where I am now.
That's amazing. I recently texted somebody that I was thinking about them and they were like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet that you were thinking about me.
Oh my God.
Would crumble.
Honestly, my Thanksgiving text message was kind of like that with the guy I'm seeing. It was so bad.
Your Thanksgiving text message. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because they texted me. They were like, oh, my God, so grateful for you. And I thought if I want something sappy and thought out, I got to send one myself. So I did. And all I received was, oh, that's so sweet.
Another stab in the heart.
That really got me.
Vulnerable Greer.
Yeah. I was like, okay, not doing that again.
Yeah.
Brutal.
But no, I literally.
You're killing it, you know?
Thank you.
Still going strong.
It's going great. Like I mean, like he took me to London, you know, like a month ago. So I can't really complain. And we're going to Costa Rica for New Year's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're making it official there.
Oh my gosh, she's going to propose?
I think so.
A promise ring?
He's going to put a title on it.
Ooh.
So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But
okay, well, you got to keep us updated.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Like, he's told me that the next person he dates, he wants them to be his wife. So I think he's just taking his time a little more and he's making sure that this is going to work for the both of us because he wants this one to be real and not a fling.
Oh, I feel like that's a green flag.
Super cute.
Yeah, like we've already looked at apartments together. It's fun. We'll go to Treat Easy and I remember I think it was like 3 weeks of seeing each other, and it's very like love bomb energy, but it's sustained for 3 months now, so it's okay. But like 3 weeks into knowing each other, we were looking up apartments because he told me he wanted to buy eventually, and I was like, okay, sick. So what's your budget? And he goes, you mean our budget? And I was like, okay.
Sure.
Let's
love bomb the fuck out of me.
It's like, I want crown moldings. I want fireplace. Like 2 bedrooms sound good? Yeah, babe. And I was like, cool. So we're like filling out the filters and everything together on Treat Easy, and yeah, it was fun.
Like, open up your joint Pinterest board and
for sure.
Joint Pinterest boards.
Yeah.
That and like, have you ever used the app House?
What is that?
So House is specifically like interior design, home improvement type app.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like fantastic. And like you can literally go in there and like save folders of like reference homes or like reference bathrooms or like
no
whatever.
way. So it's like Pinterest but for home.
Yeah, specifically. But and then you can also like go in there and see like different contractors because contractors will put in like the things that they work on, and that's like
That's so
I've
amazing.
used that before.
I'm like, I geek out
Fantastic.
so much on interior. I can't afford it
No,
yet,
I literally would
but-
sit with a previous girlfriend of mine
and go through
and
it.
go through it together.
Oh my
I-
gosh, this
extent.
is like very niche, guys.
That's very niche.
Maybe I've never gotten to a point where I want to live with whoever I'm dating.
No,
this is-
because like part of it was we were both artistic, like
Oh,
we like
cute.
design things, and like
It's
we just realized that we both had the same app, and then we started sending them back.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool. Like
Oh.
I like
Because like if you're like farmhouse aesthetic and they're very modern, like you should know that before you start.
You know, trying to
having
build
to-
a home
Yeah,
together.
Mhm.
I mean, you can mesh the two.
yeah, you can,
You
but like
can.
you need to know that you're
Yeah.
going to have to.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, it's interesting too. I feel like design has really evolved recently.
Yeah.
Before it was minimalist, like white, beige
Yeah.
bullshit. Now everyone
And
wants
then
soul.
everybody's so tired of everything being white and beige and boring.
They want color again.
Yeah.
Because I have my white chair, my white couch, and I had like my white I had everything
Yeah.
white. And now recently everything that I've really invested in, I drive 2.5 hours out upstate to get thrift items for
Fair.
my space. So.
Yeah, that's like key. I don't like. There was somebody on a different podcast that mentioned that they go to this this place in Jersey that does the pottery for a lot of the restaurants, like their plates, their bowls, and yada yada. And they do these sales. I think it's monthly, and it's just like it'll be 1/5 of the price that they sell it to restaurants for, because it's
Oh,
all the ones that
wow.
are like maybe 2 degrees off or maybe a little bit wobbly, but they're all like super top tier plates.
No way.
Just not like Nobu level quality.
Right.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And it's like at a huge discount.
I really want to go to an Upper East Side like estate sale.
I want to go so
Oh,
freaking bad. Oh my god! But like literally, I feel like we're going so off topic. But like interior like makes me feel alive. But I got this insane chandelier for $8, and then a rattan chair for free. So I mean, I'm picking up some cool pieces.
yeah,
on a
that you're
budget.
gonna put into your joint apartment.
Yes. No.
With-
I'm
Boyfriend, not boyfriend.
exactly. No. I'm legitimately
I
like.
can't wait till he has a name and we can disclose
And
it.
we can talk about him. Yeah. I mean, he loves being the mystery man because so The Bachelor actually released an article of us, and his name's not in it because I haven't exposed it at all. And they're talking about us, and he loves it. He showed all of his friends.
Oh my god.
He was like, "This is so cool."
Mystery man.
Yeah, he loves being like the man in question.
oh
He likes it.
that's great.
the
Fun.
undiscovered character.
Yeah,
I love that.
and it's funny because people think he's like a sugar daddy because we like went to London together. They think he's like this like guy like in his 40s or 50s that's like supporting me, but I'm like, no, he's literally 27. And he's my guy.
Speaking of sugar daddies, I just got the strangest text from my friend. I haven't opened it yet, but she is on a plane right now. And she,
Are you serious?
yeah.
With her daddy who gives her sugar?
No. Like, I don't know what's going on, but she texted me and said, help me. Oh, wait, sorry. She's in an Uber. And she said, this Uber won't stop telling me about this dancer he knows, AKA stripper. Guy has a wife and 2 kids and a sugar baby, but goes in to see this dancer every week and gives her $1,000 every night.
What?
Then makes her do girl on girl and gives her another $1,000. That's literally a text I just got from my friend. So
Oh my god.
side note, yeah,
Yeah.
not great.
Different types of guys out there.
There-
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's the pool that we're dealing with, ladies.
I think you know what? I think like if you're dating someone who can afford, stuff like that, then why not? To each their own.
Yeah, maybe she knows. Maybe the wife and kids.
But I mean, hey.
They're living large. But anyway,
Yeah.
this was a super fun conversation. I'm sorry we had to end on that, but but any last minute golden nuggets?
I just like see myself in the TV and my hair. It's just like not it. It's okay. I don't know. Like any like last minute things you wanted to cover?
I actually am interested in this one thing.
Okay.
So after leaving the show, usually what happens is, people do get a following and, I know you're a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like after leaving the show, it was like harder to date, or like people had like preconceived judgments of you?
Oh, that's actually one of the main reasons I'm not on the apps.
Yeah.
I had to get off them. I guess like I don't always like try to, you know, make the show, that whole experience, like a part of my life, or like make sure I try to make sure it doesn't influence a lot of the decisions that I make when it comes to my career or my romantic life, but it has had an impact, which I'll acknowledge. Like when I was on Hinge, I would have people try to make conversation with me based off of Bachelor lingo and say, hey, will you accept this rose? Or hey, like everything became, I felt like I was this character. I felt like,
Well, because in their lives, you're the girl from their TV.
From their TV, right? And I understand that completely. Yeah. But like, I didn't want to date someone who saw me as a character. I wanted to date someone who just saw me as Greer.
Right.
And that's something that I came into, where I would talk to people and they wouldn't start the conversation about the show, but then they would follow me on Instagram before we even went on a date. And I was like, okay, obviously now you know who I am. Obviously, you know about the show since you found my Instagram. My Instagram's not attached to my Hinge. And I just felt very exposed, which is what I signed up for. I'm not saying that, I'm not like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't like live in private. Like I'm not like a celebrity. Like I'm just like someone who's on television for like 15 minutes total. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. But it did affect dating as well, because I also went on a date with someone who I met organically in person when I was in Houston for a little bit. And this person acted like they didn't know who I was. And then I went on a date with them. And then they said to me, I've got a confession I need to make an hour and a half into the date. And I'm like, what is it? And they go, I actually know exactly who you are. And I actually watched your season. And I wanted to see if you are who I thought you were. But you've exceeded my expectations. And I felt like I was in a test. I was like, oh, so you're testing me. Never spoke to that person ever again.
Yeah.
Ew.
Immediate ill.
Immediate. Yeah, I'm like, who do you think you are? I'm a human, not a test subject.
And I think this is
I would
something
add that to the ick list.
That like don't or aren't exposed to entertainment at all. It's like,
yeah,
there's a difference between people who understand that entertainment is people and then people who don't.
Yeah.
Or like they look at it as something different in a different world.
Yeah.
And I feel like you notice that a lot, especially once you get on the other side in front of camera. Like this is part of your daily now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I understand, because this is me being on television was a very new experience, and majority of my life was always the girl watching the television, not being on TV.
Yeah. And
so I understand that perspective, especially when I follow my favorite TikTokers, or I watch a movie and I become, intoxicated with the actor that I'm watching, and then I Google them and I try to figure out every movie they've ever been in. Like I get it. I get from that perspective. But at the end of the day, I'm just someone who went on a show to find love, and I still am trying to find love, and I still want love. And it just sucked how I feel like I was put into a box, and I was like categorized by the girl who was on The Bachelor every time I did date someone. Mm-hmm. And it felt like, are you dating me, or are you trying to go on a date with me just to say that you went on a date with me, or do you actually want to get to know me?
Right.
That was something I had to figure out. And that's something that I liked about Boyfriend Not Boyfriend now.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, he never made me feel that way at all. He actually said to my face once, he was like, I don't give a fuck that you were on it. I hope you know that. And I was like, cool.
Great.
Phenomenal.
So this actually reminded me of one last thing. Me and my friends have a joint group note. And it's called the ick list.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And I want to read it to you guys.
Yeah, I would love to hear this.
And you can just like give your 2 cents on what you think about it. And again, I would like to say, if this offends anyone, it's a group full of girls and it's not my opinions. Some of them are, but I'm not going to tell you which ones.
Can I green light or red light the icks?
Yeah.
Can I like say like yay or nay?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
And you
cool.
can give us your 2 cents too, Remy.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
What this is should we do like words? Like how should we?
Are we
should
doing
do
red light, green light? Or are we doing thumbs up, thumbs up?
I don't know. Should we do like at the same time so we don't get influenced by each other's answers? Should we like a little hand sign for like when we
Should I make you cover your eyes?
Sure.
Like-
sure.
like heads up?
Yeah.
Just be like this.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
I guess.
Oh God.
I don't know. How are they going to know
We'll do yay
audio?
or nay.
Okay, yeah.
Yay or nay.
It's
Cool, cool.
Okay. Trifold wallet.
Wait, what?
Trifold wallet?
Trifold? Trifold?
Trifold.
At our age, I'm going
Nay.
nay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like any sensible person would have a Bible in their pocket.
Look, some of these are really fucked up. I'm just going to be honest because it's not me.
Okay. Like, be loyal.
Okay, skinny legs, like skinnier legs than mine, built
Okay.
like Humpty Dumpty.
No, they skipped leg day.
I think
And
I
that,
do personally feel like, okay, so personal trainer, gym bro, like I do think it's an issue if they are like jacked upper body and then they have toothpicks for legs.
yeah. Or like you're sitting next to
Yeah.
your girl and she's got a bigger thigh than your two legs.
That could be an issue. But it's like,
You know?
if it's proportional, I think that's like, lifestyle is lifestyle. But if like you go to the gym and then you just purposely just don't do an entire half of your body.
Like when your girlfriend looks like she can lift you.
Yeah.
Bench you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
I feel weird whenever I'm sitting next to a guy that has skinnier legs than me and I'm like romantically interested in him. I'm like, this is like a big
oh,
task to
You're
take
not
on.
gonna hang on,
And
handle
this is
me,
why I do
babe.
3 leg days a week. This is exactly why.
You heard it here first, guys. All right.
Oh, this is
Favorite food is chicken Alfredo.
Oh my god, nay.
And these are like people's personal experiences. Like people go onto this notes app and they will write down things as they happen.
No, this makes sense. If you're
Yeah.
an Italian restaurant and you choose the chicken Alfredo, go back home. Don't ever eat out again.
yeah. I feel,
That's like ordering a shrimp tempura or a California roll at a sushi.
I like a
spot.
sushi spot.
Sushi,
Like you're
sushi
going to
spot.
like omakase.
Like you're going for omakase and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have the California
Okay,
and Philadelphia.
yeah, that sounds fair.
It's
But
okay.
It's like,
If you don't like sushi, valid.
yeah.
But don't go to a sushi restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
picky
taking
eaters are an ick for me personally, just because I like to eat. I'm a big foodie.
Yeah.
notes. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip over a few.
Like I went to actually, what was it? Blue Ribbon with this one guy. I was on a date with this guy and he ordered a bowl of fried shrimp tempura and a
Wait, what?
Philadelphia roll.
Okay.
And I didn't see him again.
Yeah, I'm confused by the bowl part.
It was like a bowl of it.
Okay.
It was like
all
a
right,
bowl of like
that's-
fried shrimp tempura.
I guess that's one way to do it. Yeah.
I feel like this kind of aligns with this next one. Only eats / orders chicken tenders and fries.
Yeah,
3,
no, I'm
5.
sorry.
That's what it says. Okay.
Like that would be a red flag for me if a girl did it too. Like,
But, like-
I would judge.
But like,
Look,
like
if I'm
a
drunk, a little
Go Puff
tendy,
order?
yeah.
yeah, a late night go puff order, hell yeah.
Yeah, but like if we're doing bar food, cool. But if
Yeah.
we're at like, I don't know, somewhere nice and you go like if we're at a French restaurant, you're like, do you
Yeah.
have chicken tenders? No.
Or
No.
mac and cheese.
Red iPhone?
That's hot, yay. What's wrong with the red iPhone? That's hot.
I feel like this was like whenever they first came out.
Yeah.
No, it's a good color now.
One of my friends' boyfriends has one, and she said his name is Blaine. She put Blaine exception. And okay,
Blaine's a hot name too.
I feel like this is hard because we live in New York. But a man holding an umbrella.
What is he supposed
No, he
to
better
do?
be holding my umbrella. Are you kidding me? I'm not holding that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, this one says patterned. Sorry, patterned.
Pattern umbrella.
Patterned umbrella.
What's on the
Oh,
pattern?
like it's like plaid.
Or like
like-
camo.
Yeah, like some sort of like decorative.
What if it's
pattern.
Burberry?
That's
Yeah,
yeah, fun.
That's hot.
That's the type of pattern that I go to first. But if it's like military, like he
Like
needs his
camo?
camo umbrella.
It's like can't see the umbrella.
Can't see me under this.
Walking in rain.
I guess if it's like it would have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Like if
Right.
it's like the pattern goes with the fit.
Over apologizing.
Oh no.
No.
Okay.
No.
What is this when you're nervous?
Balding.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Oh my God.
It is brutal. I know. Hey, well, men's.
No, actually, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna straight up say it. Like, nay.
Okay, wait. Quick question. Related. If someone is, are you in the just go shaved head camp? Like, don't even try to act like you have hair.
No, there's so many solutions. Like, you can use rosemary oil. You can do like a micro needling tool. There's so many ways to maintain your hair. And to me, it's like you're actively choosing to not take care of yourself. When there's so many ways to maintain your hair and you're actively choosing to not maintain yourself.
Most of the time it's attributed to stress too. Obviously there's genetics involved, but
for sure.
If you are balding at a young age, usually it is attributed to like early stress. And
or malnutrition.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
But there's it's like know your body. Like for instance, like my hair was thinning 2 years ago after COVID, and I thought I had alopecia. Like I thought like something was wrong, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm 23 and I'm losing my hair. What did I do? I bought rosemary oil. I took like biotin gummies. Like I went on this like whole regime to like revive my hair. So that's why I don't feel bad. There's just so many alternatives.
I'm fully of the camp, and I've thought about this. Like I feel like being a guy, you have to think about what you would do if it started to happen to you.
Yeah.
Like it's a reality. But I'm very much in the camp. It's like if it started, I would just go full like bald.
Yeah.
I don't like obviously I would test if I have the head shape for that, but I would probably just go full. Like I'm not even going to act like I still have hair. Like
Okay.
0 or 100.
I feel like that's the move.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends did that. Like just shaved his head and looks great.
Just go full Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Right.
Will be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we got past that, having a dry erase board. Some of these are personal situations.
No,
so.
I think that I like
okay,
that.
in what context? Is there a context for the dry erase
Okay,
board?
I'm going to tell you this was mine.
Oh, okay. So
okay,
there is a
what
context.
what happened?
So I went on a date with this guy once, and now we're friends. So I hope he's not listening to this. But such a sweetie pie. And unfortunately, I went back to his apartment and had a bottle of wine. And I go sit on his couch and I see a dry erase board on the wall, and it says a to-do list for the day.
Okay.
And
Was
it's
it
like,
you?
it says 1, go to the gym. 2,
okay.
do my laundry, which I'm like, are you on the Jersey Shore? What is happening here?
3, have sex with Veronica.
3, go to work. 4, date with Veronica. And I was like, oh. I was like, ugh.
I think that's kind of cute.
But where is this like smack dab in the middle of the living room?
Yeah, like huge, like written words, like a giant drying erase board.
Okay, how big was it? Like how?
I want to say
how
like
big was number 4?
Like they were all the same size, but like
No, but like how big
like-
was date with Veronica?
like
shut up.
no, like it was huge.
Why couldn't he just put that on his phone?
It was like he wanted me to see it.
Like I get it if you have like the 12 by 12 next to your desk. But if this is like smack dab in the middle of your living room, I feel like that's like having black towels.
I didn't know if I should be flattered or like scared that he was a serial killer.
What if his to-do list is his wall art?
Yeah. And that's a problem.
I guess that's a brand of finance.
No, I get that. I would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What if on the, it'd be so wild if on the to-do list, there was like the week to-do list, like it showed all his dates for the week.
Oh, wow. That would really be like opening up a new can of worms.
That would make me want him more.
Same, probably.
The sprinkle.
The competition. He's like, if that were the case, he's the king of like the sprinkle or whatever.
Oh God. So good.
Oh.
Yeah, but you gotta make it feng shui. You gotta make it fit.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit.
Wow, this
Like,
really
there's
is
way too many TikTok accounts that you can follow about how to make your apartment just like seem relatively girl friendly. Like, watch a few of them.
okay. Asking if the sex was good for you.
Oh, like were they like, how was it?
Yeah.
Do you feel good? Did that make you feel good, baby?
Look, if you had to ask,
Then it's a no. You don't need words to know.
Yeah. First of all, you shouldn't have to ask. Second of all, if you're going to ask anything, it should be questions before or during.
If
You should not be asking questions.
If you didn't hear, it's a no.
Well, I mean, how many? I'm sure you guys know this more, but how many girls fake that?
I mean, I don't, but like a lot.
Integrity. I respect it.
Thank you. I mean, like I don't. However, I've done it. I've done it. Like I've done it. Like
I don't, but I've done it.
I've done it. Like where like when it was like you're already like in it and it's so bad and you just want it to be over. And then you go, oh my God, like I'm so close. You know, like you try to like speed it up. I've done that because I wanted it to be over. But
Fair. Okay.
But no, like as I've like grown into my sexuality and me as like a woman, if I want to get off, I'm gonna get off. Like if you're not gonna like do it for me, I can just do it myself. So like I'm not gonna waste your time. You're not gonna waste my time.
Yeah.
If you're doing it wrong, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you the key to the gate.
Like, you gotta communicate.
Yeah.
It's not
right.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
And it's like the end of it should not be the only time that you communicate.
Right.
I give them a shot.
Yeah.
I would give them a shot. And then, you know, if they didn't figure it out, I would legitimately, this was my line. I would legitimately say, do you want to do this in 30 seconds or do you want to do this for 20 minutes?
That's a line. That is a line.
I think like it's hot to be able to like communicate like what you want and need from somebody.
100%.
And I feel like a lot of the times people are like nervous to like, I guess, cross that barrier or like, I guess, present themselves in a certain way. But I think it's like honestly such like an example of your confidence and especially like just knowing what you want sexually. So I think it's great whenever people are just like vocal about it.
Well, like any guy, you probably can admit this. Any guy who would be offended by you telling them to do things differently to please you, like, is
probably
not the guy. Like, you want to be with someone who's like, oh my God, yes, please tell me how to please you.
Right.
Like, that's how it should be. And
like most guys want to know.
Want to know, yeah.
Like they would absolutely welcome any tips. Advice. Like most
For
guys.
Sure. Like, how do I get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? Please tell me. Please tell me. But I got really lucky because the guy that I'm seeing now, and because he's probably gonna be listening to this, so I have to throw this in there. He figured it out immediately.
Oh, slay. Okay. Temperature in apartment over 68.
69's fine.
What? Do you prefer living in Antarctica? Like, what is this? Like, I understand. Okay, so I understand the crowd that's like over like 74. Like, I will not even entertain it. Like, I understand that.
Yeah.
But if you're like 72 is like, this is a sauna. That's a problem.
But what about 72 in the day is chill, but like when you're sleeping at night, don't you want to be like cozy?
Yeah,
cold
well that
in
makes
bed?
sense. But it's like if
yeah.
thermostat at all over 68, that's a problem. Because like during the day, I'm gonna need 72.
I'm gonna
like 68 is the I'm not conscious in this home.
Right.
Yeah, that's like this is the hibernating temperature.
Right, like I'm going into deep REM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 3 more.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Riding scooter to work.
No.
But is it like, are we talking like the Razor scooter?
I think like
because like Razor scooter, I can't. Like if you're pushing like.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Playboy magazines in home.
Oh.
Well, I have one, so. I actually have 2.
Greer's like a giant red flag.
I'm a huge red flag. When I'm learning about this list right now, it's like, oh, maybe that's why I was single for so long.
Oh my God, no. But yeah, I feel like that's a big ick for me.
Maybe because a lot of these are for the girls.
Yeah, they are for the
That's
girls.
why it's a thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're fine.
Okay.
You're
I'm
the
fine.
exception.
It's okay.
You're allowed to have it. We have to have a really good one on this end.
Can I see it? The list?
Yeah. Oh, there's a new one.
Oh, there's a new one.
Yeah, here.
It grows.
Let's see.
Some of them are like very individual, so just don't even
Requires
feel
a
the
lot of
need.
context.
Yeah.
Actively makes TikToks.
But like, what kind of TikToks?
Yeah.
Are different TikToks different levels?
Get ready with me.
Yeah.
Get ready with me TikToks or like showing like a day in the life. of like a guy who's like a day in the life of a lawyer, and then like
I like the cooking guys on TikTok.
the cooking guys. I will watch a guy cooking anytime.
Mhm.
Even what's the guy who goes, yeah, bitch. He like calls everyone a bitch.
Oh, I haven't
And he
seen
does like some Italian chef guy, or like the guys who like sexually cook food.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch those.
Okay, not on my TikTok pages, but okay, notes taken.
Like it's like hot the way they like slice things
Cook.
Yeah.
up.
Social
You're like,
media.
There's this one guy that always has a toothpick in his mouth, and I'm like, why is that turning me on?
I know,
What
right?
is this, the bear?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's the ick list. I'm glad that we got to go over that. I completely forgot about it.
That's a good list.
No.
It's definitely something that I suggest everybody and their friends do because it's a fun way to all keep in touch because anytime somebody adds to it, it updates you, like it gives you notifications. So we get to ask our friend like what happened.
It's really fun. Like keeping your friends in the loop of your dating life. Like right now, my friends and I are doing 12 dates challenge of Christmas. I'm the only one that's not, that's
You're the commissioner.
I'm the commissioner. I'm the game master.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, we're in a group chat right now and everyone's to send a selfie with them and their date. And at the very end, we're all like having a Christmas party and then we're doing presentations and all the dates. And then everyone after the presentations invites their favorite date.
I thought you were going to say everybody who was ever on the dates are going to
No.
show up at your house.
No, they're literally, that would be hilarious. I should.
Yeah.
I should. That'd be great drama.
Yeah, because maybe if it didn't work out with, one of them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't this, where have I seen this before? What movie or show was it where everyone brought a date that they didn't want, but everyone was single and like they were hoping that the date they brought would end up with someone else?
I don't know, but we should implement that. I think that could be
That's
fun.
a thing.
This sounds at the very least like a phenomenal thing to watch. Like I would watch a TikTok series of that moment specifically.
Like dinner parties specifically for that.
But imagine you being the person that gets invited and you're like,
Oh god.
and you think this person really likes you and like really they're just
No.
trying to dispose you.
Yeah, another.
I know that would be really hard.
It's just like Secret Santa, but
Yeah.
But people's feelings.
Secret Santa, but people's feelings. Oh my God, that's good. That's good. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for joining us, Remy.
Yeah,
this
thanks
was
for
so
having
fun.
us.
phenomenal time.
Yeah.
It's great having a male perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, I love being the male perspective.
Yeah. You really cultured us for sure.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank
just
you.
feel-
I try. I try to, have layers to myself.
Do you want to share how people can be friends with you and connect with you?
If you want to check me out, it's remyhdz.me on Instagram. That is pretty much all photography. After this, we'll probably start cooking more on social media. So we'll see how that goes. But photography, social editing,
Cooking.
Yeah,
Cool.
check me out.
You're not an ick when you post
Yeah,
on
yeah,
your
yeah.
social.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
Well,
right.
It's like it's business.
Ladies listening, Remy, I'm assuming you're single.
Yeah.
Based on our conversation. Well, we have a DJ, a photographer, an editor, and
So far
a new
you just-
chef.
Get
So
him.
far, you've just listed 3 red flags. Like,
Legitimately, get a man who can do it all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, ladies. Hit up Remy.
Also, a side note, he doesn't he kind of look like John Tucker from John Tucker Must Die?
Oh my God, you do.
Mhm.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen that movie?
No.
You need to watch it.
You would be looking at yourself in a mirror.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gonna check that out.
You should.
Yeah, go watch it.
We'll
It's a
look
good
up that
movie.
reference.
So whoever had a crush on John Tucker growing up should definitely hit up.
But it's kind of like traumatizing because I feel like that's every girl's like breakup movie. That's what you watch whenever you're like mad at men. So
But you're like the John Tucker that shouldn't die.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
the other
Does he
Tucker,
die in the movie? Like, is that?
no, he doesn't die, but his reputation does.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Word.
But
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like you solidified yours here today, so you're good.
Beautiful.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for
and I
having
appreciate
us.
your time.
This is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Cheers.
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 Well, remember to like, rate, and subscribe to this podcast if you like this episode. And you can follow us at Martinis and Bikinis Pod
Mhm.
on Instagram and TikTok. And
And if you don't, go fuck yourself.
I will personally vouch that all the conversations.
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to share Remy and Greer's socials in the show notes, and you can be friends with them, talk to them, hang out with them on there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Cool.
Peace.
Bye.
Truly, most of the time, you are not there for no reason, and you're not where you are for no reason, and you have to just remind yourself that. And that's what I remind myself, and then I feel a little bit better.
Think of what you can do to just slow down your heart rate, make yourself feel a little better, going on a walk, meditating, Pilates class.
You're manifesting, you're setting yourself up to start that journey of whatever you're manifesting.